Now this leads our bulletin this hour. Economic Freedom Fighters leader Julius Malema has lashed out at Parliament's ad hoc committee investigating police corruption, accusing it of being toothless and useless for failing to compel KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi to submit his allegations directly to Parliament. Malema insisted that Mkhwanazi's explosive claims of political interference within the South African Police Service must be addressed in a formal statement to the committee chairperson, not through the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. He warned that relying on the Commission's findings would render Parliament's process ineffective. All right, for more on Parliament's ad hoc committee, we cross live to our reporter Bulelani Phillip, who's in Cape Town for us. Good afternoon, Bulelani. Thank you very much for joining us. So the EFF's Julius Malema has taken exception to that deposition of a supplementary statement before the ad hoc committee, saying the committee deserves a statement addressed to it as they are conducting an inquiry independent of the Madlanga Commission. Just talk us through what has been resolved now with this adjournment.
Good afternoon to you. Well, the committee started on a rocky and messy start this morning when, as you correctly pointed out, there was a dispute over the statement that has been prepared by the evidence leaders, which was deposed by General Mkhwanazi. Of course, the committee members expressed displeasure at a cut and copy-pasted statement that was presented by General Mkhwanazi at the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry. They argue that they are not a substructure or a subcommittee of the Madlanga Commission, and therefore they feel that General Mkhwanazi, as well as the evidence leaders, must make a statement, or rather submit a statement that has been addressed to the committee. So that actually took quite a lot of time in terms of trying to revise and amend the statement that was initially before the committee. And when the committee reconvened again with new revised statement, we then realized that it was not the end of the delay, because the committee decided that all non-committee members that were present in the committee were requested to leave, and there was no reason that was advanced as to why, including journalists, were requested to leave. And therefore, at the moment, the committee is still meeting behind closed doors, and in earnest, the proceedings have not yet started.
Now, during this bit of an exchange between the chairperson and Julius Malema, I mean, he tried to emphasize the fact that this is, of course, not a fault of General Mkhwanazi as he sits there, that really he placed the blame squarely on the legal counsel that is there for failing to at least ensure that he addresses this specific statement to Parliament and not tell them that this is a supplementary one. But how was Mkhwanazi's demeanor when this exchange was taking place?
Well, General Mkhwanazi has actually been sitting there quietly absorbing the debates that were going on between the evidence leader, the point of order that were raised by Mr. Julius Malema, as well as the interventions by the chairperson. But in the end, Mr. Malema really was saying that, the confusion or the dispute that was before the committee, he was actually now not having any confidence in the evidence leaders that are led by Advocate Norman Arendse, and in fact was calling for the removal of those evidence leaders. But whether that decision is going to be taken by the committee, we cannot really say for sure now, and we'll have to wait up until this in-camera meeting that's happening now, what it results on.
All right, and I suppose everything that we're seeing here now essentially distinguishes the process of Parliament to that of the Madlanga Commission, because we're seeing the vibrancy of those parliamentarians. So do we know when exactly we're expecting them to reconvene, the exact time?
Well, that is anybody's guess at the moment, because we don't also know the nature of the discussions that are going on, and there was no time that was set in terms of how long those discussions are going to take place. So for now, we are still in limbo, and we anticipate to be called in as soon as the committee has done its deliberations.
All right. Bulelani, thank you very much for that update. We'll touch base with you as soon as they reconvene. That's SABC News reporter Bulelani Phillip, who's live in Cape Town for us.